Hello Internet, welcome back to our Apartment Rat series. In the last episode we harvested some military composite armor from this vehicle. We also harvested some storage batteries from here, one of which we butchered because it was in poor condition, to give us materials that we could potentially later on craft a storage battery. Unfortunately, I did not butcher the one that we left when I did that compilation episode. I had another storage battery and I did not butcher that one. If I had, we would probably have enough material to put a fourth storage battery in here. So that's a bit unfortunate, but you know, we have plenty of battery charge at this moment, and with the upgraded solar panels, we're really not worried about not having enough charge for really anything. We'll be fine. We do need to disassemble our crane, which we can't do in the dark. 8:30 p.m. I think we'll just go to bed. I think is fine. No. Let's bandage our wounds. Where is our... We moved our medical supplies to down here. Bandages. Okay, let's activate some bandages because we've been really pretty wounded on our limbs for a while now. We'll go ahead and bandage our leg. We're also running out of bandages. We're going to have to make some, which is fine, not a big deal. Our head's okay, our arm is okay. I want to take care of this right arm, I think, is the only one I really am concerned about. I don't want my limbs to be broken. Other than that, we're close enough to full that it's not a big deal. Now we will sleep. And we will... Yep, let's sleep. Hot day already. Turned off the AC and I'm immediately sweating. God, I cannot wait for summer to be over. It's not even August yet. Well, by the time you see this, it'll be August. But just getting so sick of the heat. Can't handle the heat, man. I'm not built for it. I'm built for the cold. You know. I just don't understand. Some people love the heat. I don't get it. Why would you like the heat? Like, that's always been my philosophy, is that if it's cold, you can always put on more clothing, but if it's hot, you can only get so naked and still be socially acceptable. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here shirtless in a pair of shorts, you know, and I kicked off my shoes, and I'm sweating bullets. And it's like, I can't get much more. There's nothing I can do to reduce this heat anymore than to turn the AC on or whatever. But if it were cold, I could just put on a sweater and a coat and whatever I felt like I needed to be in a comfortable position, you know, and you can't do that in the heat. Heat sucks, man. I don't know how people do it. I don't understand it. I sweat bullets constantly in the heat. Oh, hate it. And then I can't, like, I've been trying to lose a little bit of weight, but I can't actually work out because it's so freaking hot. Move these. Is that in the right spot? Is that the right tile? Where's our crane? There it is. Okay. Hello, beaver. Are you hostile? North American beaver, the continent's largest rodent. Its paddle-shaped tail helps ferry it through the water, and its prominent teeth can chew through wood, which it uses to build dam-like nests in lakes and streams. Okay. Are you hostile, beaver? Safe mode is on, so you are hostile. Let's eat a beaver. Save a tree, eat a beaver was a popular slogan when I was a child. Let's butcher. So we do have the metal butchering rack. The problem is that we don't have a flat surface to go along with it. So we could use the metal butchering rack, but we wouldn't have a flat surface, so it wouldn't let us full butcher. And here we have a flat surface, but we can't deploy the butchering rack inside our vehicle, so we're never going to be able to do those things together. Until we get a deployable flat surface. We did get a chunk of meat out of that. That seems a little pathetic. Beavers are actually huge. Like, if you've ever seen a beaver, like, I would say a beaver is probably larger than my wiener dog. They're fat little animals. Not only did we not get any fat, but we only got one chunk of meat, which, it is quick butchery as opposed to full butchery, but that's still a pathetic amount of meat. There's another one. Why don't we go, since we got so few... Don't run away. I want to eat you. Since we got so few... Okay. There we go. It was a muskrat. Now this we probably won't get any meat out of. They're tiny. Yeah, so we just got some refuse. That's unfortunate. Not going to concern ourselves too much with that. Man, if I were smarter, I'd probably harvest more military composite plating, but that's so boring. Oh, don't hate me, Internet. We need the composite plating, I think. So we're going to take some of this. Don't hate me. It's going to be a little boring. So what's going on with me? I woke up, I had a nightmare last night where I thought I was a serial killer and the police were coming to get me. So I had this nightmare where we were like planning to flee our house and the police showed up and arrested me for all these murders. And it's like, okay, I don't really know where that came from, why I had that dream. But I did, and it was unpleasant to wake up thinking you're being arrested. So that was no fun. And then I woke up and I turned on the news, and the first thing I hear about is some guy who shot up a convention or something in California, which I don't know. I think it happened a while ago, like a few days ago, but I hadn't heard about it, and so I had to hear some terrible things about that. Some kids were hurt, and it's like, it's always that, It seems like every time I turn on the news, it's something like that. And I just don't understand it. That's the thing that makes it super heinous, right? Is that it's so difficult for a relatively normal, let's say, quote unquote, normal, well-adjusted, and not that I'm well-adjusted, but, someone who doesn't have those impulses to comprehend what makes someone do that. And so that was a not so good thing to wake up to as well. Always hate to hear things like that. Nothing you can do about it. Oftentimes there's no rhyme or reason. I heard he had some white power type stuff going on, and then it seems to me this is probably going to upset some people because there are racists on the internet, but every time something like this happens, they always come back and say, this guy was involved with the white power movement. And then I see people online who are like super racist, or even in my area, I live in a dominantly white area, but I am a part of a multiracial family. And there are just a ton of racists here, and it makes it hard to see people. And God, what am I trying to say? It's like I hear people in my area when we say, oh, this guy was involved in white power or whatever, they're always like, no, they weren't, that's just a lie that they tell you. There's nothing wrong with not liking black people. There's nothing wrong with believing white people should come first. And I just don't understand how people can be that willfully ignorant, and ignore things like evidence that, hey, doesn't matter what color you are, you're just a person. I don't know. We probably shouldn't talk about this. Point is, I live in an area where there are a lot of racists, and I'm from a multiracial family, and so it's always been kind of difficult to negotiate that. Like, I go to work, and pretty much every night when I go to work, there is a guy at my work who is he does not like Hispanics. I think I've talked about him before. Does not like Hispanics, has a problem with black people. And every time I go there, he just assumes because I'm white, he can talk to me about how they're ruining our country. And I sit there because it's my job and I don't want to have a confrontation with a man. Like, because my instinct is to be like, hey, you effing ignorant dude, shut your mouth before I shut your mouth. And it's like, you can't do that because that's where I work. And so I don't know. What am I even talking about? Let's move on. Hey, let's get in our vehicle. We're going to be I think we're going to head south. We'll probably follow along the river because it's a nice big open area. I really don't feel like driving into a town. With zombie evolutions kicking off, it just seems super dangerous to go into a town. I'm not really confident. We have pretty good equipment, but I feel like the chitin could still do with some upgrading. And then there are plenty of things that, despite our decent armor, could just tear us to shreds, I can't think of anything. Well, obviously, like Hulks could really ruin our day. But there are other things as well. I think some of the plant monsters are pretty tough. I think that the you know, there are some robots that'll destroy us in an instant. A cave. Why is there a cave in this town? Mass grave. We really don't want to mess with the mass grave. Small cemetery. I mean, unfortunately, it looks like we're going to hit town whether we want to or not. And I mean, we could just head south, but there's no guarantee that there's open field here. We could drive all the way down here and find out that the river butts up against it, and we wouldn't be able to go any further, and we'd have to double all the way back to do this. Why don't we just pull up to town and check out some of the buildings? There's the cave. I don't think there's ever a good reason to go in a cave. I think there are a lot of really scary things that can show up in a cave. Okay, so we really need to stop now. I guess we could slide through. No, because there's a tree. We could probably get through right here, but the road is blocked as well. I think we're going to stop and take a minute. What is this? Half-built brick wall. What is this building? Public garden? No, it's a house. Oh, good. More houses that are not complete. So let's stop. We should come to a halt before we stop, I guess. Stop driving. I guess we'll go check out the area a little bit, just to get eyes on things, maybe see what the evolutions are getting to. Tough zombie. I'm so sick of houses that are either empty or under construction. You know, I've been talking about it on the Discord. People keep telling me, like, oh, they're not that common. But if you remember, just a couple episodes, we were finding, like, I think it was like 5 of the 8 houses we explored were either partially constructed or empty without furniture. So just getting sick of that. Some ammunition is always useful. Okay. So there's just going to be crap in here. Random construction debris, I guess. Means nothing to me. Complete waste. I mean, at least this one is like truly a partially constructed house instead of just being empty for no explicable reason. Is this filthy? Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say we could grab some leather out of it. Okay, so a pool, not great. Ooh, very scary. Zombie snapper is the highest tier upgrade of the swimmer zombies. They have a pretty severe bite attack. There's the shocker. Oh man, so this is not optimal. Last I checked, although it was a while ago, zombie snappers were like genuinely a little scary, and some things are starting to track to us. If we could just see, the problem is they're moving into the water, and basically if they can see us as they move into the water, they'll track up to this point. And even if we move on, then they might hit our vehicle and destroy our vehicle. I'm not super thrilled with this. Go the dogs, because why wouldn't they? I don't really know where to go here. I guess worst case scenario, we run away in our vehicle. But that's not really a long-term solution to us kind of being stuck out here. What are we wearing on our head? It looks like we're not wearing a helmet. Chitinous helmet. 1216. Okay. Maybe should have upgraded to full steel stuff. Would have been the smarter play. Honestly, I'm running out of direction for our character. I really don't know what to do with ourselves. Never did find a stethoscope, so looking through the banks that we've seen for power armor isn't really an option. I mean, we really don't need most of the basic stuff these days. I would like some of the zombie horde to trickle over here. So there's a swimmer. That's a start. I mean, what's the benefit of even clearing them out? Well, there's really no benefit to clearing them out, but there's nowhere for us to go. How are we going to go through here? It's blocked on. So in order to get on the road, we have to come through here, which is a narrow opening, and we could potentially clip the tree, which would be terrible. Then we really can't go through here. We'd have to come all the way over here and try and get down and then angle our way back. But all the horde is here, plus the vehicle, because we can't fit through between these. We're not really strong enough, I don't think, to be pushing some of these huge vehicles out of the way. And coming over here is not an option. So how do we head south? Well, I don't think that we really do. Alternatively, we could come up here and travel west, but what's the benefit of driving through a giant town? We're just going to ding up our vehicle. We're going to hit tons of monster density. We're not going to do anything because we're not going to be going into the buildings, because if we stop, we'll get overwhelmed. I don't really know what to do. I mean, we're tough, but I also don't really want to fight an enormous horde while I'm being surrounded. There's no good cover here for us to kind of work, you know, where we could choke them, get them in a bottleneck. I mean, because they'll just come through the windows and everything. Okay, some of the earliest members of the horde. I think we'll just fight because we can. I don't know if the PR that lets zombies push has been added or not, but we're going to let them trickle in and try to fight them and see what it does to our health and things. See how well we do this, actually. So, probably not very exciting. Just going to be tapping the old fight the zombies button. Oh, and I didn't even think about our stamina. So let's look for an exit. We can exit to the north, but there also appears to be... okay. I mean, we can exit to the north once our stamina gets to a point where it's no longer manageable. But by then we won't have the ability to run away. I think we'll just stand and fight. There can't be that many. Or maybe there can. Why am I glowing all of a sudden? Am I not? Was I glowing before? Okay, stamina's getting mighty low. Let's step out of sight and see if we can recover any stamina. Yes. Did we recover any at all? It doesn't look like we're recovering any at all. Shit. Okay. I mean, I guess we just keep fighting them. Stamina's getting to the point where it's dangerous. Yes. I mean, I gotta assume that even if we just are waiting for a few turns, we're recovering some tiny amount of stamina. And our stamina has dropped to the point where we're like in genuine danger. Okay. Oh, okay. So that looks like we did get through the majority of the horde, although it was very close. Probably unwise to have done that. Yeah, let's stop. Smashing all these corpses is going to put us in a really dangerous spot. So let's look at the zombie snapper. With a crocodile-like snout and rows of protruding teeth, this swimmer-clad zombie lurks in the water. Again, last I remember, extremely dangerous. Also, they bite a lot, and their bites can deal a fair bit of damage. Okay. Stop hitting the wall. There you go. Critical 51. Okay. I kind of think they're like brutes, comparable to brutes based on their 3 cash cards. I mean, we're not going to look through. It's all going to be garbage anyway because they're swimmer zombies. Anything? No. Some ale. I'm good. Actually, you know what? We're in some pain. Why don't we drink an ale? Look at that. Took care of our pain in an instant. Fantastic. And so there are some more zombies, including 4 snappers, which is not great. We are going to try to smash these corpses as much as we can so that they're not going to... Man, 4 of them coming at once is not great. We will stand here and we will fight them. Come on, then. Okay. Oh, you... collapse the building. How strong are you that you can just smash through the wall? Can't get loose of the rubble. Can't get loose of the rubble. You're grabbed. You try to break out of the grab. Okay, I guess we're fighting them 2 at a time now. Not great. I think it's better to take out the snappers first and let the regular zombies hit us, because they're less likely to penetrate our significant armor than the snapper is. Okay, we're free. Let's smash everything. No, ignore. We probably should regain our stamina first. Just to... Spotted, no, and it's a crawler. It's not really a concern. No, no. Smash, smash. Smash, smash, smash. Okay. Smash, smash. Alright. Well, let's sift through all this crap. We actually didn't take very much damage. Let's look at our clothing. Okay, the chest rig took a little damage. Really, the Kevlar took a hit. I'm not really sure how it got through the chitinous armor to hit the Kevlar, but that sucks, because the Kevlar is a very potent protection item that has a very low encumbrance, and in my opinion is actually more valuable in some ways than the heavier armor. Protection values are reduced by damage. Okay, so that's a little disappointing. I had hoped that so clothing, the more it degrades its health, the less protection it offers. But I feel like an item that... So basically right now we're at 3/4, I think, is what this is. I feel like it really shouldn't start to lose protection values until it's down at like 50%. So that's a little bit disappointing. Most games have a pretty decent window of things like that when they try to emulate those sort of things. Like, I think Fallout has a pretty generous window before it starts reducing. Same with weapons, before it starts reducing the actual damage output or protection that they offer. Oh, I'm thinking specifically of New Vegas. I don't know if that actually holds true in all the games or not. Anyway, we cleared a giant horde, which is pretty impressive. Thank goodness there are just, 3 or 4 times more of them. God, it wasn't even all the swimmers. Oh, okay, so these aren't swimmers. These are just regular zombies. There might be some in the pool as well, which we can't see. And then, of course, we saw the big horde down here that was also full of zombie snappers. So we're in okay condition. I'm not happy with how long that took, or really how dangerous it was, how close we came, because running out of stamina, like I said, is kind of a big deal. How poisoned are we? Not badly poisoned. Okay. Well, at this point, go ahead and boom. The wreckage. Oh, thank God. I thought they were tearing up our vehicle. But they're not. They're tearing up a motorbike over yonder, which they've now abandoned to come fight me anyway. Our stats are much lower because we are poisoned, so that's unfortunate. I don't know if it's prudent to go in the cave or not. I think we will pop downstairs just to get away from the zombies for a moment. Let's activate our amp goggles. Oh, we're not wearing them? Where are the amp goggles? A whole mess of rats. I really don't want to deal with rats, even more than I don't want to deal with zombies, because rats, you will miss them 100 times, which is really annoying. You destroyed my flame-resistant gloves as well. I didn't even notice that. Okay. Let's take off the amp goggles. We're just going to chill. Hopefully the... yeah, okay. I was going to say hopefully the poison goes away before we have to fight. It's fine. Grab the grape drink, I guess. What's our stats? They are going up, so it's not super bad. 5 minutes, yes. Fight the zombie. Ton of fighting in this episode, which I don't think is terribly exciting, but hopefully you do. Viewer, hopefully you like this a lot. Heard footsteps. Nah. Yeah. Let's, how's our stats? We're fine. Let's just go out and deal with the remainder of that little horde. They're fine. They're not even going to bother us. Okay. Well, that was super boring, I bet. Because it's hard to make commentary when you're constantly thinking you're about to be overrun by a horde of zombies. Calcium tabs are pretty good. We really don't have a lot of... oh, another butcher shop. That's where all the gas bags came from. That's fine. Hey, grappler. Yep. Even though you couldn't see me, you grabbed me somehow. That's cool. Nothing. Let's grab the pickled stuff because it'll last a long time. The lunch meat spawns in the butcher shops are out of control. I don't know anyone really who goes to the butcher shop for bologna. Most people go to the butcher shop for things like sausage and I guess like hamburger meat, like ground beef and or venison and or whatever. So I'm a little irritated by how many bags of lunch meat we find. Rotten chunks of meat, uncooked hot dogs, what, a week on those, we'll take them. Rotten meat, uncooked hot dog, I mean, I guess we'll take them. I don't know any butcher shop that makes hot dogs either. They only make sausage. In my local butcher shop, they don't make hot dogs. That's more of a grocery store item. Okay, nothing. Nothing interesting up here. Actually, aren't there water purifier? Isn't there a standing tank somewhere? No, it's an empty water heater. Why is it empty, though? It has that funnel, or the water purifier and all that. Dispense or dump clean water. Examine. 41 clean water. I mean, we could haul that back to our vehicle because we're running low on water. Let's check the rear here. Oh, go to Horde. I wasn't paying attention to. And a bunch of them are already dead. What is this? Tie clip human corpse. What is this? Mass grave. Yeah, we don't want to be there. And hopefully they didn't all see me. And we'll go through the butcher shop, so they'll take some time to tear that apart instead of beelining right to us. I actually probably should call the episode here. I think we'll drop some of the stuff we picked up. We didn't pick up very much, but we'll drop some of this stuff. We don't need to carry the anti-parasitic and things like that on our person. Drop all the food. Syringe, soldering iron, lighter. I don't know why we were still carrying the welder. And we'll drop the FMJ. You know, I completely forgot we had a Saiga in our inventory. We did not have to melee the enemies like that. You know, while we're here, I also think we want to pick up... We had picked up some tack gloves a while ago, and I never put them on. So we will take off our flame-resistant gloves and replace them with the tack gloves. We never did make a gauntlet item, even though we have gauntlets available to us, including the chitinous gauntlets, but we also have the armored gauntlets. Oh, they're actually worse. I would have thought that this was like the steel arm, the steel arm guards level, but it's not. It's actually worse than the chitin gauntlets, even though the steel arm guards are better than the chitin arm guards. I don't know. Some of the logic behind the stat line of certain items is a little confusing to me. Like we talked about previously about how the chitinous armor chest piece has no environmental or fire resistance, but the boots and the gauntlets, which are made of the exact same material, do have environmental and fire protection, which, based on Cataclysm, what I know about modding Cataclysm, the armor, it should be based on the material that it's made of, not what body part it covers. It just doesn't make sense. So, whatever, but it's neither here nor there. Anyway, we're going to call the episode here. Sorry, I got a little distracted when I'm fighting. Hard to make decent commentary, and we talked about some really negative stuff in the early part of the episode, so hopefully that wasn't a big deal to you. But anyway, we'll be back with more Cataclysm in the near future. If you enjoyed the episode, maybe consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you hated it, feel free to click that thumbs down. But I'll be back with more soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.